Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Churchill Downs here on Saturday. It's 20th of May 2023. I'm going to look at the 11th race from Churchill, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. The 11th race from Churchill, it's featured, it's the Louisville Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a $225,000 purse, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 11 horses going to the Mount Wynn Turf Course, the distance of ground of 2,400 meters. If you want to go by that, or the distance of ground, of 1.5 miles on the Mount Wynn Turf Course. 2,400 meters, 1.5 miles here. And I'll show the diagram. Just gives me a second to look down my notes. Just bear with me. And the last 2 weeks, I've gone through 4 of these. Not even funny. Basically 1.5 for Pimlico Special and Preakness Day. I use a lot of paper, and I think I have to start changing to a different alternative with all this paper. But my top selection, I'm going to go with the number 9 horse here. Another mystery. Let's go 9174 in the superfecta. 9174 super. Top selection, 9 horse. Another mystery. There's 7-year-old horse by Temple City. Jarrett Loveberry gets to mount on this one. Horse's most recent outing came the Elkhorn Keelan, 1.5 miles on the 22nd of April, and the horse finished third by 2 lengths that day. He was a little bit wide that day. He moved a little bit late, but he needed something more. In this race, it seems like there's going to be a little bit of lack of pace. If he could get a little closer in this one on this speed favoring or front runner favoring turf course, I think he could get a better trip to win. Before that, in the Muniz Memorial, I thought it was a bit of a shorter trip for him over the 1.8 at the fairgrounds. He finished 4th by 4 3/4 lengths. He was a little bit wide. He needed something more late, but he ran decently. He came on with an okay 91 buyer, and then John B. Connolly at Sam Houston, 1.5 miles on very soft ground, 20th of January. He finished 2nd by 3/4 length. He had a little bit of a wide trip. He stalked. He had the lead. He got caught late. He didn't go down without a fight. He ran his heart out that day, coming home with a 95 buyer. And then on the turf, off the turf, on the Tapete at Gulfstream, 1.5 in the Allen Jerkins, he finished 6th by 10 1/4 lengths that day. He was a little bit wide that day, and he just never really showed up. He might need the race first start South Florida. Before that, in the Pizza Man at Hawthorne over the mile 16th, he finished 2nd by a head, closing up from nowhere that day, and then had a very good 3rd in the Turf Cup at Kentucky Downs, and a very good place behind Red Knight in the Colonial Cup last July. Coming here today, should get a good trip. Watch out for him. I think his second likeliest winner is from the rail, the 1-horse limited liability. Most recently, Keelan, 1.8 miles in an allowance race. He won by a head that day, and coming from the back of the pack, he really put on a show that day. Before that, in the Hill Prince at Aqueduct over the 1.8 miles, he didn't run. He finished 8th by 4 1/4 lengths. He was wide and just lackadaisical that day, but then had a decent 3rd in the Virginia Derby at Colonial over the mile furlong. He needed more ground, but nothing bad about that race, even with a troubled trip. He's the kind of horse I think he's been wanting 1.5 miles. I'll have to see a strong pace to close up with, but at 8-1, I'll use him here. He's trained well at Belmont. But to recap my selection for the 11th from Churchill, it's the Louisville Stakes. Gonna take the number 9 horse here. Another mystery. Give kudos to the 1-horse limited liability. 9174 Super, 9-1 in your multi-race. So good luck to one. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.